Hello and welcome to the Be-Cray podcast, episode 8, with one of my best friends and also a streamer, KillaCC, better known as Cody. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Archie. It's been a while since I said I was going to come join you. But
schedules permitting, obviously.
Yeah, got delayed by a while. But we're here, finally here. It's lovely to be here.
Of course, to give the viewers a little bit of a description, my good mate Cody, better known online as KillaCC, is a Twitch streamer. He streams over on Twitch. He currently has 26 followers and counting. He's also a massive gamer. He's most notably known for streaming games such as Counter-Strike Global Offensive, also Call of Duty, The Witcher 3, and much more. So, Cody, why did you choose the name KillaCC?
Why do I choose the name KillaCC? Well, when I first started doing streaming quite a while ago, I just had my full name as it, and this was back in sort of like 2015 doing it. Unfortunately, my computer wasn't quite what it is now, so it took quite a long time to actually get up to the point of like good computer to do stuff.
That's the thing. Like, obviously, computers, like, they're bloody brilliant, but the negative is they cost a lot of money.
arm and a leg and a half.
Yeah.
Which is and then the name. One of the other people you've interviewed, Mr. JD Anime, he said, "Bro, it's about time you change your name, isn't it?" I think. And I said, "Okay, what do you think I should do?" And at this time, I started playing. Started about this is about a couple of years later, so 2018 to like 2017, late 2017 to early 2018. So I'm playing Osu, and my name on that is KillaCC.
Right.
I named myself off that, and he said, and he's like, "What do you want to name yourself?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I can't really think of I want a catchy name, which people are going to remember, and people are going to they'll see it and go, oh yes, that's him."
Would I be slightly correct in assuming it might not be the case, but the killer aspect could come from the character name Killua?
Yeah, it did a little bit, yeah.
From Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, it did. I at first, because my favorite character now is Gon. As you know, my favorite character, Gon is my favorite character, but then probably more just because for funny reasons, it's Hisoka.
Sure, okay.
But nothing worked with something like that, then CC.
Yeah,
which is in my initials.
So it's late 2017, mid 2018. Yeah. What made you want to start streaming?
Maybe before I start streaming, mainly so Joe and Jack and a couple other people started doing it quite a bit, and they were enjoying themselves a lot, and I wanted to start getting into it. And also one of the people that I watch, Beats Troll MC, he's quite a big Osu streamer, and he's like he's like one of the better players in the world. And I wanted to do that. Maybe not get to his level because that does take a long time, but I wanted to be able to be as popular as he is on Twitch and stuff when he's streaming, like having loads of people watching him play these really insane maps, and everyone being super hyped in the chat and stuff, which made me want to do that. And then also other games, like at the time when I started doing it a bit more, the new Call of Duties are coming out and stuff like that. So I wanted to stream that.
You sort of coined the term that you were a bit of a variety streamer.
Yeah. It wasn't. I didn't want to just be streaming one thing. I wanted to be sort of known for Osu because that's sort of
which I must say you're bloody great at.
Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. There's a long way to go before I'm satisfied.
You're quite mad on that game, if I'm honest.
I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's a long way to go before I hang the towel in, I'd say. Next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to be known for doing that, being really good at that. But I wanted more out of streaming because I knew when you start off as streaming, a little game like that isn't going to be making you, unless you're amazing at it instantly, you're not going to just, garner loads of views like that overnight. So I had to start doing games which are more popular, like CS, Call of Duties and stuff like that. And
Sure.
Recently, The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Which has been amazing to play. It's just anyone who has it either.
I mean, especially if I know you, is that you're not you weren't normally such a fan of single player games.
No, not at all. I quite enjoyed playing. That's why, for a big portion of time, I liked playing sort of Call of Duty and stuff because I could play with all of you.
Yeah,
and like CS and stuff like that, and other games like it because it means I can play with all my mates. But
now you've understood how great some single player games can be.
Yeah. I need to get Skyrim soon, and I want to stream that. I just carry on streaming Witcher 3 because I'm a good portion of the way through.
You're lucky with Skyrim. 7 different editions now.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, never run out of bloody time. Get to the point of where I'm about to finish it. It's like, oh, here's a new thing. There you go.
Obviously, your streaming career, as it is right now, it's more of a hobby. It's not something that you're taking uber seriously as if it's a job.
No,
like some of the others, because even though you've been doing it a fair while, you haven't really put all your stock into it yet. You're just having fun with it.
Yeah, sort of a side thing.
If you had the chance to go full time with it, I know you would. But as that isn't on your itinerary right now, explain to the viewers what you do for work currently.
Right. Well, for work currently at the moment, I'm in between two jobs. One is McDonald's, which is not the best job in the world, not the worst. It's not what people make it out to be. That you hear people go, when you work at McDonald's, you don't, you can't eat the food, it makes you feel sick. That's not true by any means at all, actually. And then I'm also
a lot of people make up really stupid stories to match certain agendas. I mean, if you work at McDonald's, it's a completely valid job to have.
It is, and it's pretty good money for what it is, to be honest. It's not exactly rocket science.
No,
it's not difficult. And then I'm also, so this is the job that I'd like to get as a future job properly, is plumbing, and at the moment I'm sort of working with a plumber as an apprentice.
Right, and how have you found that?
Lots and lots and lots of emails. I probably sent out about I'd say around sort of 30 emails to different companies. But because of coronavirus, there's literally nowhere taking people.
Right,
they're all just like a lot of companies. They've every sort of like they're hiring plumbers that know what they're doing, but when it comes to apprentices, they've kind of cut it off because it's more than one person in a house, working on one thing, which is sort of not allowed in the moment.
So obviously that sort of idea of like working at or for a plumbing firm, in terms of your aspirations in that, would you like to one day be your own boss in that field?
Yeah, 100%. My plan for that is to eventually own my own business and be self-employed.
So you can sort of you're working your way up the ladder bit by bit.
Yeah, because the great thing with that is you get a lot of money if you get your name out there. You've always got work, and I enjoy plumbing. It's a good thing to do.
This is something I really want to highlight, because a lot of people clearing blocked toilets with poo inside it. But as boring as it might be to explain it, could you please explain some finer details of what plumbing
actually is?
It's quite a fine, intricate job.
Yeah, really. It is. Once you start getting into the more, and in the beginning, especially if you start off as an apprentice, you're on pretty minimal money. I think at the moment it's like £3 like 50 or £4.50 an hour, which is pretty fucking dismal.
But that's apprentice rates, isn't it?
Yeah, that is an apprentice rate, because you're there to be learning, to then eventually be earning more. But yeah, so at that sort of stage, when you're at the bottom of the stage, you're not clean, you're not doing what people, you're not sticking your hand at a toilet or doing stuff like that. When you're that low down, you've just died, you're literally just watching the proper plumber do what he's do what you're going to be doing, and you get like you make a cup of teas and coffees and stuff like that, and you like get the tools and stuff that he needs. And once you keep working up, you actually start doing things. Like at the moment, I'm actually sort of fitting a unvented hot cylinder,
Right.
which is not too complicated, but if you don't know what you're doing, it's a bit, it's a bit of a pain.
I mean, I know I'd just bugger it up and water it flying everywhere.
Yeah, fill it up. That is one thing. I'd hate to fill something up and then there'd be leak somewhere and damage someone's house. That's like a worst nightmare for me.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well, like it's quite a nerve-wracking job really, because if you were to make a mistake, like that's also playing on your mind. But I guess the more you get used to it, that will sort of...
Yeah, the more experience you get. The guy I'm working with, every time he says to me, he goes, anytime you do something, whether it's soldering or even just like cutting a piece of pipe and joining it to another one, think of the worst possible outcome and then think what you can do to get over it before you do it. Because otherwise you do it, water starts leaking out everywhere and then you panic. But if you know what
worse.
Yeah, if you know you go, right, if I'm doing this, like I had to solder up in a loft, and I had to think, right, I had to move stuff out of the way first and get it ready, because otherwise, could burn someone's house down or start a fire. And then we got to do that is think of, right, if that is the worst case scenario, what do I need to do to sort it out, and stop it getting any worse.
And, what would you say to the person listening to this podcast right now who maybe has just finished school or is still in college and they're thinking, I'd quite like to do some sort of plumbing or
one of the trades.
Or I could get a job at McDonald's or KFC, but, oh, no, it's probably not worth it as a job. What would you say to them?
100%. Any job you can do is worth it, despite what people say. Experience is how you get
absolutely
through life. Like even working at McDonald's, it's a job is a job. Depending what reason you go to have a job, whether it's for money, experience, just to be there to have something to do, or anything, it's worth doing. It's 100% worth doing. And if you get a chance to take any sort of jobs, as long as you're comfortable with it, you should.
Absolutely. Because I feel like a lot of people get put off from doing those certain jobs because of like how some people might frame it as being when it's not.
Yes, you hear people, such as McDonald's and stuff like that. You hear people
horror stories.
Not going to work in McDonald's. If something happened, it's like, no, it's a pretty normal job. Just average.
Just got to get on with it.
Yeah, you've got to get on with it. Do what you need to do. It depends what you're looking to get out of it. That is the main thing.
So let's take a step back. Let's go back to your childhood and let's talk about your earlier life. So, whereabouts did you grow up?
I grew up, as depressing it is to say, down in a little town called Bognor Regis. But where my house was, I used to always say I lived in Chichester. Don't live in Bognor, live in Chichester.
How did you find it growing up there?
It's all right. Where I was is a bit out of the way of like where the town was and stuff like that. So
it was very much a nicer area.
Yeah, it was a lot nicer area compared to being right in the dead center of where the town is and stuff like that. A bit slightly more into where the countryside is a little bit. Not much, but a little bit more. And when going to school and stuff like that and making friends, it was quite difficult. I never got to see them super often at first because of where I lived and where they lived. Because I was quite far away from them.
Well, yeah. Tell me about like school for you. Like, which school did you go to, and did you enjoy it or did you hate it?
So primary school, I went to Barnum.
Okay.
I went to the Barnum school and can't remember too much from primary school, other than a couple of funny little things. Some really silly things. Me and one of my mates, and you haven't met them, you've definitely heard of them, Joey.
Yep.
Me and him used to best mates in school. To be honest. Me and him were like as close could be. You know, we do everything together.
Yeah, man.
And
100%.
we got to the point of where we just laugh in class and mess around too much, even in primary school, that they put us in separate like. So when I had maths, he'd have English, and when I had English, he'd have maths.
Because otherwise, you two would be so naughty.
Yeah, literally, and we got a class together once. Like so, sometimes there was like I think it's art or something or painting that you had like the class had to go into one because there's not enough teachers to do that one thing for like 2 separate classes. And we were in together, and the teachers before we went in, like they took us and went right. They're like, right, you go that side of the classroom, you go that side. Don't look at each other. Don't talk to each other. Just be good.
Or you're out.
And we decided that it'd be funny to get one of the the little tins of paint that you get.
Yeah. The smaller ones.
Yeah, the smaller ones, like as if you're testing, to see like in your house. If that's the right color. They had them in the school because they didn't want to get, the big ones, too big. We decided that we were going to pour one of them on the floor, on the carpet.
Oh no!
Yeah. We got it together. And we literally made a plan of how to do it, just because we thought it'd be funny. I held it, and brilliant. I was walking, and he ran into me by accident.
Oh no!
And I'm not joking. It went everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, somehow it managed to go a little bit on the ceiling, tiny bit on me and Joey, and then everywhere on the floor.
Oh my God.
And the teachers did not like that. Literally,
I was going to say, the teachers probably were not happy.
No, they get out of the class now. And then we went out because we were quite young.
Primary school teachers are so aggressive.
Yeah, they are. Little chill, like probably like 6 or 7 years old, and they're just screaming at you. It's like, whoa, calm down, please. Yeah, and then they took us to the head office, and I can't remember if Joey did. I know I did. I cried like a little baby. I was.
Yeah, but you do it
calling your parents. Calling your parents. No, call my parents.
Please don't do it.
Oh,
I've been there many times.
It's not.
I remember once I got in really bad trouble because like the baby dolls, like the baby Annabelle things.
Yeah.
I remember I thought it was funny to like go out in the I got one and went on the playground and tore its head off as a joke.
That's
like decapitated it. So like my parents got called in to the school and I had to sit for like 2 hours after school.
Oh my God, that is
bro. Thinking back on it, I like the amount of like anger that primary school teachers shouted at you was worse than secondary school or college.
Oh, it's
actually mad.
You think that when you get to that point, they treat you so much more different compared to when you're a child.
Yeah.
Do you think as a child they'd be like soft voice, maybe a little bit of a stern voice when you do something
now
silly?
That was very silly, wasn't it?
Yeah. Not.
It's
yeah. Literally, it's like, oh my God.
And I must say, apologies for earphone listeners for that one.
It's all good fun. And then one other little story from primary school is my dad. He works. He used to be a plumber.
Okay.
When he was younger, but then quite a few years after, he's retired. Right. He stops that job and he started working at a different job, and he's a manager of a charity shop.
Okay.
I was down the charity shop one day, and this is whilst I was in primary school as well. And this was a bit older now. This is sort of when I was in sort of year. This was year 5 to 6. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Getting to the age of sort of like 10, 11. Went down to the shop because it's a charity shop. People bring in all loads of rubbish and nonsense and and stuff like that. And it happened to be somebody brought in like Playboy magazine sort of things, like nuts or whatever. And little young Cody saw one of these magazines,
and it blew your mind.
More than that, I ripped a page out and took her to school. Took her to primary school and showed it, to all the little lads. when there was this like bush in the school where you could go like a little thing, you can move around it and stuff like that. That's what we used to play when we play like it and hide and seek and stuff. We went behind there because there's like a path behind it, and I was like, I showed it to them, and a girl found out. and told the teacher.
Oh no!
And I tried to dispose of it, but they found it. They found it. I think
you didn't hide it very well.
I'm pretty sure I just put it back in my pocket. I'm pretty sure I just stuffed it in my pocket, and they were like, "Cody, what's that in your pocket?" I was like, "Nothing, my hand."
Nothing here.
And then they took it out and found it, and they
Oh,
called up
dear.
my mum. And I went to the head. At the end of the day, I went to the head office, and they called my mum, and then she come in and went, "Oh, you know, what's wrong?" And then she went,
Oh no!
and this is funny. So they spoke to her and went, you know, they found this. I don't know, and they said, and he told us that it was his daddy's. So I said to them that this ripped out porn magazine picture was my dad's. and the teacher and the head teacher, she's outrageous, and my mum, being my mum, started laughing.
Being the legend that she is.
Yeah, could say that. Started laughing. In the head teacher's office, started laughing really hard.
Bloody
And then every
brilliant.
time Dad would come to pick me up from school or anything, I think word got around,
no!
and all the other
They
mums,
all thought it was the porn mag guy.
yeah, looking at him like,
Oh,
you dirty bastard. Oh,
Oh man!
good times. Secondary school was a bit different.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Went there. I knew two people only two people from my old school come to the same school as me, and my secondary school was Feltham Community College.
Right. Okay.
I had two mates that I went with. One of them, which I was pretty close with, and then the other one who was you know, mates of mates and stuff like that. You know them. They're in the school, and so I didn't really know anyone. And then I made friends with someone whose name I won't say.
Okay.
I became friends with him, and he was like the typical, you know, the cool kid, you know, the kid that messes around in school, you know, the popular one. And for the first 3 years, so year 7, year 8, and up until year 9, to the middle of year 9, basically because I didn't know anyone, and you know, you want to try and be, when you're that age, you know, you don't want to be, you know, lonely or unpopular or anything like that. You know, you do whatever you know, do to be mates with people.
Yeah, you do like any random thing to try and fit in.
Yeah, and well, in the end, got sort of bullied for the first 3 years of secondary school. Which
right. What was that about?
Really, really stupid things as well. Like literally, like because of my second name and stuff like that. Like.
Yeah, which is honestly so fucking ridiculous.
I know, and
it's like it's not even something to be like. It's so stupid.
It is, and the thing is, well, now, like if somebody said something like that now, it's just like, oh, okay, cool. But when you're a kid, when you're that young and impressionable, you're like,
that's the thing. If you could go back to secondary school with your knowledge now, when someone was a prick. You just laugh at their face.
I know. You just look at them,
and you'd be really upset.
Yeah, literally. And the thing is, well, what I did is I kind of just like bottled it up and stuff, and you know, and just tried to like.
Which sometimes can't be the right thing to do.
No, in one way it was, in another way it wasn't. It kind of did mix things, but then once I got past that sort of shit little mini era. Once I sort of got into the next, so like the rest of year 9, year 10, year 11, school was quite good. It was just, you know, a good bit of fun, you know, to mess around with your mates and stuff like that.
What about college?
So I've done 3 years at college. All sort of construction, sort of like that sort of based.
Like labour and work.
Yeah. First year I did construction, and then the second and third year I did plumbing level 1, plumbing level 2. And college, to be honest, it was the same. I found it quite similar in terms of the teachers towards the students, like secondary school. Despite the fact, you know, not every single teacher, quite a few of the teachers were just super. They actually treated you as an adult.
Mm.
but especially when I was in my first and second year, they.
Now that's funny.
Still,
that's very funny because obviously we both went to the same. We both went to Chai College.
Yeah.
Now, for me, in the IT sector and in the media sector, a few teachers were absolute pricks and treated you like children, but the majority of teachers treated you like an adult.
Yeah.
And almost everyone I know who did construction, plumbing, painting and decorating, bricklaying, something along those
stuff,
have said about how the teachers were like
belittled you a bit.
Some of them were great, but some of them were just like really snarky and sarcastic.
Yeah, I had one the teacher that I had for this, so my last year, his name was Alistair, and he seemed like the most bipolar person on the planet. But literally, and I'm pretty sure he hated me for no reason. Like we sometimes,
well, I know that.
Honestly, he'd literally be like, "Oh, you're like talking to you and stuff," and then literally 30 seconds later, you're not doing anything wrong. Just fucking shout at you. Like we were doing a theory lesson. We set up doing a test. I was just sitting there, and somebody in the class said something which is funny. Everyone was laughing at it, and I like smiled to myself. So I was just concentrating. He looked at me and went, "What the fuck are you smiling for?"
What?
Yeah, and I was like,
"Oh my god!"
I was like, "What are you fucking sitting here doing my thing?" If it was a joke or something, but he definitely fucking hated me for no reason.
This guy.
Oh mate, honestly, he was.
But are you happy that you went to college?
Yeah, 100%. Sixth form just seemed not pointless to me, but it wasn't the right choice for me to like. So I wanted to do that.
Sure.
But in my opinion, I feel like sixth form is borderline useless because a lot of the times you have to go to sixth form to do A levels when you could do them at college with more freedom. But they're still just A levels. And then also, even once you've done that, depending what job or whatever you study, you have to go to then either go to college again for a year to then go to uni, or go straight to uni for like 3 or 4 years. And you might as well just go on to college.
In which, like, at that point, you might have got a job opportunity somewhere where you have a full-time job, and then that's almost money wasted in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's not something that was going towards that ever.
Yeah, exactly. And there's I know a lot of like people that I was talking when I moved from secondary school saying
it's a bit of a toss-up, isn't it? I would recommend people do it though, personally.
What, A levels or college?
College.
Oh yeah, college.
I personally think if you're going to get a job in one of these extremely high industries, you're going to already be accepted at some sort of university.
Yeah, you are.
Whereas just doing your A levels for like English and maths and things, sure. If you have your plan and you know what you want to do, go for it. I'm not trying to put you off that way.
No,
but
not at all.
You know, it's like that whole thing between A levels and B-Techs. Lots of people got rinsed for taking A levels, but the B-Techs actually get you more job opportunities.
Yeah, they do literally. Because the thing is, you do an A level, and then you have to do the one up from that. Whereas a B-Tech, you just do a B-Tech and you can go straight into a job which can give you good money, which just seems a bit, I don't know, it doesn't quite think about it. And the thing is, I've known a couple of people, they did A levels in school and then they decided that they were gonna they just moved to college and then they did a few years of college, a completely different subjects, and I just thought,
look at my friend Ben from podcast episode 5.
Yes,
his first year of college, he went to near Portsmouth, the one near Portsmouth. What's that one called? Starts with an H. Hove or something.
Hove, yeah. Hove. It's like Hove and something college.
Yeah, one of them ones.
Yeah,
anyway, one of those bodies. He went and did that, doing like 4 different A levels, and it just killed him basically because it was just far too much work.
Oh yeah,
and he ended up going back to Chai College and then doing a B-Tech in business, and now he works at a bank.
Yeah, and it just benefits you so much more.
100%, man. And that's
Yeah,
the thing. That's the thing I've really enjoyed about our conversation so far is the fact that we're talking about a lot of like life and a lot of stories from life and how that builds up character and how events in all of our lives help to shape us.
yeah.
And like on that point, like going on from that, are there any other stories from your childhood or from today? Not today, but from now
Yeah,
that
from sort
to
of.
highlight as something which has impacted your life, whether that be a positive or a negative.
Yeah, there's been sort of things when I was a bit younger. This is not that long ago, like sort of uh like about a year ago now. I had a mate.
Take all
Uh,
the time you need.
I had a friend who went through some really bad stuff with with a girl and stuff like that. And, had a child with her, and then some bad stuff between them happened, and he wasn't allowed to see his kid. She just wouldn't let him do it,
Right.
and I ended up taking his own life, which really, really, really badly messed me up as well. To be honest, because I used to be one of my best mates, and it did put me in a place at one point where I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even value myself at all.
Right.
Made me,
Your connection with this person was so strong.
yeah, it did make me think that there's just not much point because something like that, silly like that, can make somebody do that, which was not fun at all.
No, of course not.
It's horrible.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah, this is all right. He's in a much better place now. Yeah, and then also sort of again, sort of recently, someone else that I know, but not this person wasn't as close to me as such. He was my sister's old boyfriend,
Right. Okay.
and they broke up. This is quite a while ago as well that this sort of thing happened, but it's more recently for what happened now. They broke up quite a while ago, sort of like 4 years ago,
Okay.
and
Sure.
and then sort of more recently, he had a new girlfriend and stuff, and he started not doing things that he liked doing, like he was in a band and stuff like that, and then ended up and just lots of bad stuff happened, and he ended up taking his own life as well, because he was quite a close family friend still. So that was pretty shit point as well.
So you've already experienced quite a lot of quite
Shit
harsh
stuff.
reality people's battles with mental health.
Yeah, because he had ADHD. No, not ADHD. I'm being really stupid now. What's what's the thing called where you check something like 100 times that you turn a
O-
light on?
OCD.
OCD. That's it. Sorry, he had really bad OCD to the point of like he'd get in his car, or he'd get out his car, close the door and lock it, and then he'd unlock it, open it, close it, lock it like 14 times in a row,
Right.
and stuff
Okay.
like that. And I don't know if that was the reason of anything, but yeah, it's not fun. It's not a fun thing, and I do sincerely hope nobody ever has to go through that ever, really.
And that's why it's really important to put across to people that it's perfectly normal to feel those feelings and those thoughts,
Yeah,
but to please speak to someone, whoever
yeah,
it may be, whether that be charities like Mind, whether that be the Samaritans, whether that be a family member, whether that be a friend, whether it be a random person on the street. Because as much as we may think that people don't want to hear about our sorrows and our hardships,
people do.
as I've said before, someone would much rather answer the phone at 4 a.m. to hear your problem
They never
than
answer
to
anything
hear
else.
about your funeral.
Yeah, or never hear like ever answer.
Exactly.
It's not It's not a fun thing. Yeah, if you should always talk to people, even if it's not as such something like, even if it's not something to do with you. If someone else is having issues, but you sort of know about it, you should straight away just like tell someone, like a family member, to like talk to them.
Yeah, it's good to highlight these things.
Yeah,
because I think sometimes it's just the thing someone needs to hear at that time.
Yeah, it really is. Life is ridiculously short, and the fact that something could happen and it ends over in blink of an eye is scary. To be honest, it's very, very scary.
Absolutely, someone can live their whole life partying, smoking, drinking, and they'll live to 105.
Yeah,
and someone can be the healthiest motherfucker you know. They do 20 marathons over 5 years, and then they suddenly have a heart attack.
Yeah, that is literally very.
So
very...
the main thing
is
enjoy
yourself.
Live your life, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Turn to that person next to you and tell them you love them. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Have fun. We're all very guilty of getting angry at such meaningless things, especially us being gamers. We get so vexed about such meaningless shit.
There is such stupid things that I get angry at on PC. Literally, like my internet at one point. And I was in the middle of a game which didn't even require internet, but I was listening to like music.
So you're like,
yeah, I literally just went, "You fucking shit hunting computer," and I was like, "Oh god, what have I just said?"
Yeah.
Why did I get so angry?
I used to get so angry. I mean, like playing FIFA and stuff would make me so mad.
FIFA. Even to this day, FIFA does make me. I was just about to say as well, over the period of time that I've been playing games and stuff, and I imagine you've had this as well, and other people. The more time you've got into it, the more time you've got used to just keep yourself calm, and you notice that you depending what you're doing, you actually play better.
And as well, I think video games are a really good escape for people, especially for people like we've highlighted you can get very angry at games, but I think that's a normal thing.
It is a normal thing to get angry at a game like that.
It's in terms of the anger. It's more the thought about like, just live your life. Don't stay angry. You can be angry at something, but don't hold on. Don't become bitter and twisted.
Yeah, don't hold on to something because it just, depending what it is, one, it can eat you up, and two, it's just not worth it.
Yeah,
at all. There's not, especially when it's something so silly. There's no point being mad at someone or yourself for such a silly thing.
Well, funnily enough, talking about games, let's lighten the mood slightly, shall we?
Yeah, turn the light up.
What was the first video game you ever got as a kid? Or at least the first one you remember playing.
First video game. I've played quite a lot, mainly because I've got 3 brothers and 1 sister.
Sure.
And they're all quite older. They're quite a little bit older than me. Like, I'm 19 soon, and 2 of my brothers are 30, and my other brother is 27, and then my sister's 23. So quite a difference in age.
Yeah, sure. You're really the little one.
Yeah, definitely in the family. I am the babby. I am the Bambi of the group.
Same as me.
Yeah, it's quite good though in a way. It's quite nice being
multiple older brothers and things.
Yeah,
but yeah, I agree.
Being the oldest would definitely be, I don't think worse, but especially as you want to, if you're older, you want to impress like your brother or something like that, and you want to make sure you got to look after them and stuff like that.
And as well, being the youngest, we get spoiled the most.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Which I always feel bad about to like my brothers, because when they were growing up, they didn't get that much compared to what I got.
Yeah, same with me. Exactly same with me. And so first game,
Yes.
First game that I played was like I played on a PS1, and I played I can't think what it's called. That is it. It was one of the old FIFA, one of the like really, really old FIFA games.
Like FIFA 95 or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. I don't think it was FIFA. I don't think it was like something else. It was just like a football game on the
Pro
computer.
Evolution Soccer.
Yes, that is it.
Pez.
Yeah, Pez. That is it. And then I played that because that's what my brothers and stuff had, and they had, it was like hand-me-down stuff.
Yeah.
But the first ever console, which was mine, and the first game, which was actually my game, not like it's like they gave it to me. It was like the first one I had was the PS2, and it was Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh, what a game,
mate! Actually, the best game on the planet. I wish they would bring it. I've always wanted them to bring it back and remaster it, like PC or something.
They are.
Wait, are they?
Yeah, they're making. I'm not sure if it's a remake or a remaster, but they're doing it.
Oh, that's gonna be
at least from what I've heard.
Mate, I
might be wrong, but I do think that is actually something which is being made.
Well, that is something I'm gonna be pre-ordering.
Bro, I remember like just the menus on that game, how it'd be like in the Simpsons living room.
Yes, and then you
use the TV to go into the levels.
And you got all the electrical bees, the wasps flying around and stuff. And break them and they make it. Such a good game.
So much nostalgia.
Oh, it is. Then once after PlayStation, come to realize that the best console out of them two, and forever will be, is Xbox.
Xbox fanboy.
Yeah. Well, not as such anymore, but at that time, yeah, Xbox was.
Yeah, I would argue like the Xbox 360 was much better than the PS3.
Yeah. I went from having to the original Xbox, the little that one. I had that, and then I got an Xbox 360, and then I got an Xbox. Then I got an Xbox One, and now we're at big old
Project X.
Yeah, big old fat boy Project X. It's ridiculous.
Mini fridge.
Yeah, bloody underneath of your table.
Yeah. It's a table for your Wi-Fi adapter.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. It looks really odd. The design of it is definitely not the best. But even the PS5 actually, the PS5 looks like a PC you'd order off Wish. You look and you see like one of the PCs that me or you're like, oh, that looks good. 1,500 quid, I'll get that. That seems good, and that comes, which is quite funny.
Yeah, definitely. But I guess on this point of like, we've spoken about Hit and Run maybe being re-released. I'm not going to use that one as the example, as that's a little bit of a cop out.
Yeah,
but would you say there's a game you're excited that's coming out, whether that be something which is definitely confirmed or whether that be something that you would like to see?
Right. There's quite a few things that I'd love to be able to see. I'd like to see a Black Ops 5, a Call of Duty Black Ops 5, which I assume they're going to make another one of.
So would you say the Black Ops series was your favorite series from the Call of Duty franchise?
Yeah, 100%. They in terms of
Treyarch fanboy.
Yeah, a little bit actually. They made mainly because the zombies in it was like the best.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like all the Modern Warfares and stuff are amazing as well. Like Modern Warfare and then Modern Warfare 2 and 3 and stuff like that. They were amazing. But in terms of like my one which I'd pick over it, I'd pick the Black Ops, so Treyarch side, yeah.
Yeah, I guess especially like if you take into consideration campaign, multiplayer, and zombies, they were much more stacked games.
Yeah, there was more there was more what you pay for your money. You pay on the other on them, you pay 50 quid and you'd get multiplayer and campaign. But then this you get multiplayer, campaign, and zombies.
So here's a fun little question for you, Cody. Black Ops 5 is coming out.
Right.
But they're asking you to decide what time period it's set in.
Ooh,
When's it set? Because I have my answer.
that is quite a good and interesting question, actually, because a lot of the old ones are set. There's not really been many set in a current time period. There's been ones set in the past, and there's been ones set in the future, but we've never really had one that's been set directly in the time present we're in.
Sure.
So as you go,
apart from the sort of Modern Warfares, but they were kind of futuristic and in the past. If that makes sense.
Yeah, they were kind of in a way the best of the both. But I mean one. But I'd like to see one of like literally right now what is happening in our current world now.
Yeah. So like rather than like Modern Warfare where it's like America versus Russians in this war on America, like actual wars which are happening right now, whether that be like military installations in the Middle East and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'd be quite.
Because I remember there was a lot of controversy when Call of Duty 4 was released because the multiplayer factions, obviously you had like the Navy SEALs and SAS, and then the Spetsnaz, because that was like the Russians for the other side. But then the Middle Eastern militia group had a name, and like people wrote in to the developer saying that they, in respect of the fallen soldiers, we don't want you to use the name of that militant group. So they just changed it to OP4, which stands for Operative Force.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to cause offense. But you're saying you'd like one which is quite realistic.
Yes, I'd like one that is quite realistic. Not as such, it doesn't have to be specifically like the gameplay or anything like that. I mean that can stay how they would like it, which is, sort of, it's not a one-shot kill for the head or anything like that. It's exactly how it is now. But in terms of the era setting and stuff, like, so there's been quite a few which have been set in, sort of like World War One and World War Two and that time period, and there's been quite a few which are in the future, like sort of like 2050 and stuff like that. You jetpacks and flying around and stuff. But
which I'm not really a fan of all that stuff. The futuristic ones.
No, they're definitely one of my sort of least favorite.
I think the futuristic style works, but just not for a Call of Duty game.
No.
But my option, right?
Yeah, what's your one?
I'm gonna copy Black Ops 1 in terms of the Vietnam Cold War era.
Yeah.
But my campaign, so like the multiplayer, and if there's zombies in it, cool, that can just be whatever.
Yeah, that can be how it is.
Because they're just sort of like modes which just work as they are.
Yeah, in a way,
I would have. Go on.
So the campaign is kind of the main thing of a Call of Duty in a way, which people always overlook.
Yeah.
That is the sort of thing.
Campaign's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, that is the thing. That's the way I kind of look at it. Campaign is the main thing of a game and stuff, but then like multiplayer and zombies, like you said, I think they're like side things.
Yeah.
But they just have like further content to play so you can get more into the game.
But yeah, essentially my story would be the Vietnam War, but it takes place from the perspective of both sides. So rather than playing like multiple characters on the US Army side of things,
you get to play the side of Russia.
You play one character who's part of the Marine Corps. Americans, and then you play a character who is part of the Vietnamese side.
Yeah, so that would be
so like
that would be very cool,
and like different little and it could kind of be like a heavy rain type game, in not in terms of the gameplay, but in terms of like certain things you can do throughout the story can then impact the ending. So like you can choose to spare someone, and it will change the ending, or kill someone. Or you set fire to something which may kill loads of your own men, or you choose not to set fire, and then it gets like your character injured or something,
Yeah, something like that.
To give you like loads of moral quandaries, I think that would be a really cool thing.
Almost like I can't think of what game it is, but like you choose something, whatever you choose actually has an effect on what happens.
Yeah, kind of like a Telltale game, or Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. Life is Strange.
Yeah, which actually would actually be very, very cool, actually. I mean, in terms of where would you want it So that's the time period you want it in. Where would you have it? Where they are set? Would you want it moving between two different places? So like, or, different places where they are, or would you have it in one place? Like, so they're in America and there's a big, there's stuff happening, or they're in Vietnam and there's that happening there. Or would you have it between everywhere?
It just takes place in Vietnam.
Yeah, see that's what I'd like as well.
And I'd want it to be extremely gritty, gory, and realistic.
Yeah, some like dust everywhere and stuff like that, like wastelands and
kind of like the film Platoon.
Yeah.
And talking of films, segue. Let's talk about films and television. Now we've skimmed over the gaming side of things, but more onto film and TV. Do you have a favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show at the moment is definitely probably Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's one that I haven't watched.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I recommend it to pretty much anyone that sort of likes that type of genre of stuff. And even if you don't like that genre, just give it a try and watch, because it's amazing.
Why do you like it?
Character development is a big thing for me. I don't like it when you watch something, whether it be films. I don't mind too much if there's not as much character development, because it's a film. There's a start and then there's a finish. But series, there's a start and an end, but then there's also like
it goes on for much longer. And you can get more into it. Like, I prefer series over films. I love films, but series is definitely the better of the two for me, in my opinion. And so character development. What else? Is it something to do with the actors involved in the production?
Yes, so definitely. So I mean, pretty much all the actors, I think, are incredible actors. Favorite is Terry Crews. I think he's
he's brilliant, isn't he?
I think he's really funny. He's good in what he does. He plays each part that he does. He doesn't half copy it or anything. He puts his all into it. And as a person, I really like him. He's got a great background to his life and stuff like that. And as a person, he is just super kind.
Former football player.
Yeah, exactly, and stuff like that, and like comedian and stuff like that. I think he's like a brilliant person. And the Old Spice adverts are just
hilarious.
It's the Old Spice body. I'll do his voice, but yeah. And then the rest of the film, the series is, I think, is really well planned out and based out of how it is. It
always keeps you interested.
Yeah, and it doesn't always leave you on like a cliffhanger or anything like that. But there will be especially because it's like a cop show. They do a case and then they solve it. But it's not like other ones where they do a case and they solve it. They do a case and they solve it. There is sometimes where they do a case and it does leave you on a cliffhanger, which makes you want to watch the next episode.
Yeah, like we found the new information credits.
yeah, stuff like that.
No!
And there's like some things like they've done something, they find someone, and then like a different person is like a bad guy or something, they're holding a gun to them or something, or whatever it is, and then it ends, and then you're like, oh, I need to watch. I need to watch the next episode now. I need to find out what happens, which is what I like. And then
absolutely. So if anyone hasn't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine like me, let's watch it.
Yeah. Give it a try. In terms of, if it's not your genre style, you should give it a try, because it's really enjoyable. It's funny. It's quite not smart, in such of you learn any much off of it, but it's quite
like Dumbbell.
Yeah. Dumbbell is amazing.
Tell me about a film, Cody. What's your favorite film?
Favorite film?
And if not favorite film, like maybe a film that has a lot of memory with you, whether it was a film you saw at the cinema or something like that.
Film with a good memory is Tropical Thunder.
Yeah.
That has got an amazing photo imprinted on my mind, which is on the internet and will forever be there forever. with me of my absolutely
Lovely long hair.
long locks.
Lovely KFC dinner.
Oh, absolutely banging.
And to sit back and watch Tropic Thunder.
Mate,
How lovely.
It's a banging evening. It's amazing, yeah. But that's got a lot of fun memories there. Old memories and new memories as well with you guys. With all the
the memes.
Oh, it's amazing. Tropic Thunder and chill.
Yeah.
Waiting for Archie to be like, waiting for Cody to be like.
Oh man. So funny.
So good memories. But in terms of like films now,
like an actual favourite film.
I'd say it's not a favourite in terms of just this one film, but of like the series of films, probably like the Avenger films.
Okay, you're a big superhero fan.
Yes, yeah, so I've got a lot of. I haven't read them because they're all in like the original packagings. But I've got a lot of old comics, like original old comics,
like proper old Marvel comics.
Yeah, which I've kept like all in as intact as they can be, safe.
So basically, they're collector's items, really.
Yeah, they were sort of an investment sort of thing as well, because I knew they'd be worth a bit more money than I got them for eventually ahead of time.
And also, I remember one of the first times I came to your old house, and you had like the really sick Captain America poster frame thing.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So, in terms of like the new Marvel movies and this Marvel Cinematic Universe, would you say you have a favorite one out of these more recent ones since the original Iron
Man? I quite like the originals because they're plain but keep you wanting to watch. But I do also really like the new sort of part of it is really good. The fact that there's so much change in it. It'd probably be the sort of newer side of it because there's so much change happening all the time.
So like a Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, I quite like them because there's things happening.
Because it includes the characters from like all the different films, doesn't it?
Which I do think is really sick. Some people didn't like it because they thought, I don't know what the right word for it would be. Not cop out or not. I can't think what the right word for it is exactly, but people just didn't like it as much because when people do say when they think of Marvel or like Avengers and stuff like that, they do think of Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, the Hulk, and Thor and stuff like that. Not the people from Guardians of the Galaxy or other stuff like that, and like Spider-Man. But he's definitely out of the lot of them. He's definitely sort of my preferred one.
Sure. Time to change it up again.
Oh.
We're going to talk about some sport. Let's get sporty. So, do you have any sports that particularly interest you?
Football. Never really played too much of it. Rugby. Used to play for a team. If you can call it a sport in a way. Bowling.
Yeah, definitely.
And this one, depending which way you look at it, it is a sport, but not in sort of. It's not a sport in terms of an athlete way, but it's a sport in terms of the game. Fishing.
Definitely. I thought you were going to say darts for a minute.
Oh no, but I feel like darts is definitely a skill based thing, but
you wouldn't consider it a sport.
No, you are just standing in one spot, moving your arm back and forward. It's good to play though. Darts is fun to play.
So yeah, tell me about. You don't play football too much, but do you have a team you support?
I do. I do have a team I support. It's not a team that it's not a team that I picked out myself as such. But it's been a family. It's a family team that everyone in my family supports, which is Man United.
The Red Devils.
And I can already hear. I'm just gonna put my hands around my ears to listen. I can already hear the people in the chat telling me to go away. Shit team.
Well, if anyone right now is listening to this who is a Man United fan, type in the comments Red Devils.
Yeah, Red Devils. Red Devils for life.
is picking up as of late. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got them playing some really good football.
I think he's the next Alex Ferguson.
Well, I mean, lots of people asked for him to be sacked, but I felt like I'm happy that the board kept him on to give him that chance.
And, it definitely was.
And as we've seen, the players are now playing for him.
Oh yeah, 100%. Thing is, when people at the beginning were like, "Oh, he's not good, we need to sack him," it was like in the beginning of when he just started. And it's like you need to let him get used to the players he's with and what he's doing and how the team works.
And think United still have players like David De Gea, Paul Pogba.
Yeah,
you've got Marcus Rashford. You got the brilliant Mason Greenwood coming up.
Oh mate, he in his recent game, he's unbelievable.
And your new boy Bruno Fernandes, who's bloody brilliant.
Bruno, mate.
Bruno's fantastic.
Honestly, I don't know if you watched.
He's played like 5 games and he's got 11 goal contributions already.
I know mad. He's actually ridiculous. I don't know if you watched the game yesterday on the Saturday.
5-2 against Bournemouth.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Some of the goals in that match were insane.
Mate, the goals were insane. The Martial's free kick and then Martial's just outside the box. Oh, it's incredible. It's a brilliant game.
I do have a lot. I have a lot of like respect for Man United because in the late 90s and early 2000s, it was really Arsenal and Man United who ran the Premier League.
Yeah, it was.
And I feel like although we banter each other, I feel like Arsenal and United are kind of like allied against all the other top 10 teams.
Yeah, we're both the teams with red.
Yeah,
that is a big part of our like kit and what our team is. And whenever we play against each other, I definitely feel like there's less rivalry on the pitch.
Sure.
There's definitely you see some teams, they're like
it's more just bragging rights and like a vilified toxic rivalry.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas like when Arsenal play Spurs or when United play Liverpool or City,
it's full on. Just
that's when it can go mad.
I'm gonna mess you up, bro.
Tell me about rugby. What got you interested in that?
I used to play in primary school, and that was I used to play tag rugby. The best way to play rugby. No, I'm joking. It's mainly my mum and dad. They really wanted me to play it as a thing, just to have a hobby to do.
Are they fans of it?
Yeah, definitely. Six Nations. I mean, Dad being Welsh and me being part Welsh. When we do Six Nations, there's 2 teams we support: is England and Wales, which is the main rugby I watch. I do watch the season rugby a little bit, but I don't have a main team I support as such.
Yeah. So like when it comes to like county rugby or the Rugby World Cup, there's not really a team that you go for.
No, I don't know why. There's something not as interesting about it.
Yeah, but in the Six Nations, you'll go for either England or Wales.
Yeah, no, I'll mainly go for Wales because Wales are unbelievably amazing at rugby.
They are bloody great.
But if they do, if they're behind on points, or if they do ever happen to get knocked out and stuff like that, then it's Man United. Man United.
Man United. Oh yeah.
Then it's England. But rugby, I used to play it when I got into secondary school. I played it for about 4 years.
Okay.
Went to lots of different places to play. Furthest we went away was London. We played against Brighton. We lost, unfortunately. They were absolutely insane. This is the fastest person on the planet, I swear to God. Faster than Usain Bolt. You got the ball and you're gone. Before you even saw the ball, he's already at the end of the fucking pitch. Ridiculous.
Did you have fun with it?
Yes. I prefer rugby over football. Purely...
That's absolutely fair enough.
Purely on the fact that it's a man's sport played by gentlemen. There's no arguing with the referee. If the ref or anything like that says
that is
wrong,
one thing I love is the fact that they treat the referee with respect.
Literally, you do something. If he says something wrong or says something, this is happening or that's happening, They listen. They just you just go, yep, okay. Football.
Plus, as well, to cut you off again, in football, if two guys like argue, when they walk off, they're still arguing. Whereas, like in rugby, like they'll have their hand around someone's throat and like scratch their face, and then as they're walking off, they'll give each other a hug.
Yeah, literally. Like, yeah, and the thing that annoys me as well is footballers get paid way too much for what they do, and rugby players don't get paid enough for what they do.
I will counter your argument there in a sense, because I feel like footballers' wages is influenced by the amount of money that football generates.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
So I feel like if rugby were more popular on the world stage, then rugby players would get paid more. Like American football players get paid like fucking.
Yeah, they get paid. Absolutely.
But I do still agree. I do still agree with you. The amount of money in football is stupid.
Yeah, it is.
And I think players should have like 1% of their wages go to charities and things.
Yeah, they should have like certain things. They can choose what it goes to, but
which is what Man United player Juan Mata does.
Yeah,
1% of his wages each month goes to charity.
Yeah,
like I know that's not a lot, but it's still something.
Thing is, though, it's the percentage is not a lot, but because of how much he gets paid, it does add up. Yeah. Every time he gets paid or whatever, it does add up to a lot. Especially for how much he gets paid. It's unbelievable. Couldn't imagine it getting that much money. Like they get, like
even just thinking about it is a bit mind-boggling.
It is like you do. I don't know. I can't remember how they get paid. I can't remember if it's weekly or monthly or.
They get paid that money per week.
Yes, per week. But some of them literally get like
Arsenal player Mesut Ozil,
yeah,
who hasn't played a game, gets paid £350,000 a week.
Yeah,
Let's go to the old calculator quickly.
Yeah. Oh my god! What? That is
£350,000 times 4. He gets paid 1.4 million per month. Times 12, he gets paid £16.8 million per month.
Yeah, that is just...
He doesn't even play.
Yeah, the thing is that
he just plays Fortnite all the time.
Mate, the thing is that he could sit on the bench for a whole year of football and then retire.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. That's money that, to be honest, I'm probably never ever gonna see in my bank lifetime.
Unless one of us wins the lottery.
Yeah, unless one of us wins the lottery, or some reason one of us literally just randomly makes loads and loads of money off what they're doing as a job, which hopefully could happen. Either you or me or Shay or any one of us.
Yeah,
needs to happen. Yeah, I always think when you do the lottery, I'm like, why is it not my fucking turn to win yet?
Yeah.
No, and then people one up and sell the lottery up and sell the sell. Oh, just give us like 5 million. You're only up the road.
It is. It's like when someone wins the postcode lottery, and it's like 2 streets down. It's like, what?
Honestly, we won the postcode lottery the other day, and it was like a tenner, and I was literally like, "Oh, cheers, guys! Really helps me in my life."
Can you imagine that? You get the letter saying you're a winner from the postcode lottery, and you're like, "Fucking come on!" £10.
Yeah, I mate. And it's like
you'll take it, but
it's not even fully free. You pay what is like £2 a week or something like that.
Yeah, obviously that's how they get the money to do those sort of things, because so many people do it.
Yeah, they must make a lot of money to do it. Because when you see it on TV and stuff, people get like one of them big checks, like £30,000 or something. It's like holy shit.
Yeah,
I'd love for one of them people just knock or just. And it's like, hello, it's a massive check in front of them, 30 grand, or even a grand would be fucking sick.
We're talking about a sport where you won't get paid 350 grand a week. Let's talk about bowling.
Bowling. Are
you a fan of bowling?
Yeah, I am actually. I love to go bowling and stuff like that. It's good. It's quite fun to watch as well when you see the way people do it. they get a strike every single time. It's like, oh my god.
Also, how satisfying is the sound of hitting the pins?
Oh, it's one of the more satisfying sounds on the planet.
When COVID is over, I just want to go to the bowling alley with some pints or like a Pepsi or whatever, and just like it'd be so sick. I love it.
We need to do that. Go to just do that. Oh, the noise of when it hits the pins, and I think do you know what one of the most satisfying things as well was when you bowl it and you perfectly slide it, so there's no sort of bang or anything. It's just
it just
goes straight across the gut, straight across, and then hits it. Oh,
and obviously you're not using the little ramp thing. Pushing it down the ramp.
Mate, those things, they're so bad because they don't ramp, like they don't like.
It puts like no power on it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it doesn't ramp onto the floor properly. It's just like circles on the end, so that it just bounces on the floor.
And then if you don't have the grates up, then it will definitely just go in the gutter if you're not lucky.
Yeah, mate, having the barriers up is just
butterball. Oh yeah, you can't have the gutters up.
No,
cheating.
It is cheating. But when we did it once, and we threw the ball sideways along the gutter, and you could just see it going along the whole way.
So on the last point of sport, tell me about fishing for you. Like, is that something that you love to do? And what was the biggest fish you've ever caught?
Oh, fishing is incredible. I love it. Me and my dad, we've just
I also love fishing.
So satisfying. People say, "Oh, it's boring. Nothing happens." Like, once you finally get something, it's also satisfying.
Yeah, but that's why you go down there with your deck chairs, with your coffees and things, because you can just chill, man.
Yeah, that is.
And then when you get a bite, it's like, oh shit, get into action.
I think if it's a big one, you do have to work for it to get it in. It's not just like a little thing where you reel it in, like as if you're bringing it in with no fish, and then you're like, oh, fish. You have to work for it. The biggest fish I've got, I caught a stingray. Over in Ireland on a boat. It wasn't a huge one. It's like ones you see that some people get. They're massive. It was I think I can't remember exactly how much it weighed, but it was a lot. It was like I think about 20 kilos,
sure,
which is like not super heavy, but for the size of the fish, it was very very big. It was hard to bring up. It's hard to bring up because he was all the way down at the bottom where they sit, and obviously the way they're shaped, it's like bringing up a piece of wood through the water. It's just all the water pushing up on it and stuff. I think it took me about 20 minutes to bring him in.
I remember my dad was fishing off the West Wittering Pier.
Yeah.
On the side where you've got like the sand beach and the wavy grass. So it's like not on the large beach part, but the other smaller part. And he was on the edge there, and I don't know what the weight was, but I know it's like something insane. And he caught a conger eel, like fucking like zap you to death if you're not careful.
Mate, conger eels they're so strong. It's like they're just all muscle.
And he I think someone bought it off him because it was because people were like other people there like doing crabbing or other little fishing, and like because he caught it, like because he wasn't going to eat it, he was going to chuck it back, but a guy was like, I want that. So he paid him for it.
Well, conger eel, I've never had it myself, but my dad said that he's quite tasty, like in terms of like what it is, because it's
eel is a delicacy in the UK.
I have tried normal eels. I'm not a huge fan of them. They're a bit.
Yeah, I've never tried it myself.
They're a bit too, especially how people serve them, and when you get them out of a can or whatever, they're a bit too slimy.
Like jellied eels.
Yeah, that's not quite my favorite. I love eating fish. Like fish is amazing.
Fish is brilliant.
It's so annoying. I wish
we are a coastal country. People need to like enjoy fish more.
Yeah, fish is an incredible thing to eat. Great source of protein. It's just like really good for you. Yeah, I'd love to catch something my dad's caught. The biggest thing he caught over in Ireland. He caught he was in a fishing competition and caught a blue shark.
Oh, holy shit!
Yeah. He's got a photo of it. I wish I could catch something like that. I can't imagine the amount of like effort.
One day we'll do it.
Oh, literally one day now. I mean,
I'll catch a saltwater marlin, which is about like 400 kilos.
imagine you bringing it in, you finally get it in, mate. Imagine trying to pick it up for a photo.
I like sink the boat.
You would get it, do it, pull you down.
You chuck it back, it causes a tidal wave.
Bloody would. Get it in the boat. You see the boat just start going. Woo.
But no, I appreciate that you brought quite a few sports to the table there, because I think, a lot of people don't really think that much about things like bowling or fishing. So I think it's definitely some valid things to talk about, and
I mean, and like you said,
which I also enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, like darts and stuff, it is, at the end of the day, it is a sport.
Yeah,
just depends which way you look.
I personally love darts.
I do really like darts as well. I love to play it. I'm not a huge fan of watching it.
Yeah, I wouldn't really watch it as much unless it was like some major championship match.
Yeah, it's quite fun to watch. It is all right to watch if you're with, you know what's happening.
I'd love to go to like one of those massive events, like where there's all people in the crowd who are like absolutely pissed out of their mind, wearing like dog outfits and fancy dress.
I reckon actually going to one of the events would be quite cool. I reckon that would actually be quite good fun.
180.
Yeah, 180.
Brilliant, man. On from sport, and with my beautiful singing voice as that just was, let's talk about some music.
Music.
So, KillaCC, Cody, what would you say is your favorite genre of music?
Oh, favorite genre of music. This is quite a hard one for me because I don't have one.
It's a very hard question.
I don't have one set genre at all. My genre of music varieties from a lot of confusing things. When it's like, so from
to match a certain mood, right?
Oh, it is. The way I get music and stuff like that is, if I listen to it, if I like it, I'll add it to like a playlist or something. I don't like specifically have one playlist of just grime or just rap or just like K-pop stuff or just anything like that. I have it mixed with lots of stuff. It's just like a mixture of stuff. Like my playlist, I think I've got.
But in that, obviously, so you're not saying it's potentially your favorite genre, but what genre do you listen to the most out of those?
The genre I listen to the most is definitely probably sort of rap, grimy sort of music.
Okay. Do you have a certain artist that jumps out to mind?
Gigs.
Big fan of Gigs.
Yeah, Gigs. Gigs is definitely.
I remember it was sick. I kind of like begged you to get FIFA 20 on PC because I needed someone to play with, and like FIFA always just does absolute bangers on the songs.
It does do bangers.
And then, like, you played a song which like had Gigs on it, and you were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. Oh shit, man! No Gigs on it. Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, just got my thing up. I can't tell how many. I can try and look how many songs I've got. But my playlist has 29 hours and 2 minutes of just constant listening.
It's over 9,000.
It is quite ridiculous. If I can look at that. Let's have a look. So, if I add this to a playlist, I should be able to see how many songs I've got. Well, 510 songs in one playlist.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna put you to the test. You've got your music streaming app of choice open.
Okay, hold on. Yep.
I'm transporting you to a desert island.
Right?
You're there and you're never escaping. You're there. You're stuck. But you have all the food and drink possible, so you're not gonna die.
No.
But you have a record player, CD player, or phone.
What do I choose?
But it can only have 3
songs.
So what 3 songs are you taking and why?
Suicide.
Suicide.
One would be. This is really hard, actually.
Putting you on the spot, boy.
This is incredibly hard, right? You need a second to look through. So
12 hours later.
Nah, not that long. 11 hours.
Yeah.
One song with Tupac, All Eyes on Me.
Okay.
100%.
Like the name of the film.
Yeah. Oh, it's Tupac is probably my favorite, one of my favorite artists of all times.
West Side.
Then I would go with High Grade by Gentleman's Dub Club.
Okay.
Which is like a reggae sort of D&B style sort of music.
Very nice.
And then, it's hard to know if I want to go. There's two songs that I have in mind. One of them is a Japanese song.
Sure.
But
well,
then
if you're stuck between two, I'm going to be lenient to you. And I'm going to say you can have those extra two.
Right. Well, then one of them would be called "Hunting Your Dream." I'm gonna butcher their name, but the Galvin, I think it's Gallinaries. Definitely butchered that, but it's
what's it called?
Hunting for Your Dream. It's the end song from Hunter x Hunter.
Galnerius.
Yeah. So I told you
Galnerius.
Yeah, I told you I'd butcher their name.
No, I didn't really butcher it that much. They are from Osaka, Japan, and they are a Japanese sort of power metal symphonic rock band.
And then I would go for 4 or 5 Seconds.
Nice.
By Rihanna, Kanye West, and Paul McCartney. It's definitely one of my favorite songs, especially when it comes to. It's just super chill. It's one of those songs you listen to and you can properly sort of like feel the people singing in it.
Some really lovely picks there, man.
Yeah.
And as I say, with all of these picks, whether it be about checking out certain sports, film, TV, video games, if you haven't heard these songs or heard of these artists, check them out. You might really enjoy it.
Open a new branch of listening or watching to your life.
That's the thing. Variety is the spice of life, my friend.
It is.
We're coming to the end.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's been a really lovely conversation, man. Thank you very much for coming on and putting up with my jumping in front of your conversations.
Yeah, it's been a good time. Had a lot of fun.
But Cody, what is in the future for you? What are your plans from now till the end of the year in terms of streaming, professional life, personal life?
At the end of this year, I'd like to try and get affiliate on Twitch by the end of 2021. Personal life, professional side, so my job. I'd love it if I could then hopefully start to be working full time as a plumber. So leaving McDonald's and be fully, 5 days a week, 9 hours a day doing plumbing. And then sort of personal side, just how I am now with everything. Just as happy as you can be.
Yeah. Do you have any collaborations planned in terms of your streams over the next few months? Or if there's nothing planned now, is there any dream collaborations that you'd love to do?
Nothing planned for at the moment, but dream collaborations. I would love to do a collaboration with Beats Try MC.
Right, it's like an Osu stream together.
Yeah, I'd love to do that, or just some sort of like Osu video together, especially
on YouTube or something.
Yeah, and especially hopefully by that point I'd be a lot better at the game, so I could actually compete against him.
And you're already insane.
well, I mean, I'm 145 or 6,000 in the world. He's last time I checked, he's like 52.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's honestly some of the stuff he does, and the people that are up for that rank, I just fathoms me. I just don't like a whole shit.
No, it's really good to hear, and it's good to have those goals because if you put your mind to it, you get your affiliate, you keep going on the old OSU machine, get your work in the plumbing sector.
Yeah,
Who knows? All of those things could come true. Cody, thank you very much for being so open and honest with a lot of the things you had to say today. Thank you again for coming on. Massive goodbye to you and shout out to you. To anyone who wants to know more about KillaCC, all of his links will be in the description. So that's twitch.tv/KillaCC, and also any social medias you wish me to plug will be down in that description as well. As a final parting message, is there a message you want to give to anyone, or are there any shout outs you would like to give?
Shout outs. Give one to chubby_CS, amazing streamer and an even more amazing person. The Archie podcast, the Be-Cray podcast, an amazing podcast, and a shittier, an even more amazing person, and then JD Anime. And I can't. What's his stream name? Is it just JD Anime? Yeah. I think so. And then message for everyone. It'd be always keep yourself open. Talk if you feel like you need to talk to someone.
And thank you very much for watching. This has been Archer's Be-Cray of the Be-Cray podcast. And goodbye.